Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. Today I am extremely excited to be getting into some behind the scenes of how I've been editing my debut novel, Ghostcide. If you guys don't know, Ghostcide is my debut novel that I'm hoping to publish soon. It is a literary fiction about ghost boys who meets a high school girl. I'm currently on draft 4, which is my editing draft, in which I'm going through some editing feedback from my editor. In this video, I hope to take you along with just like how I've been editing, behind the scenes, what software I've been using, and also I'm going to be going through and creating a little board that's kind of like a mood mind map for my project, because I think like as soon as you finish a story, it's difficult to kind of conceptualize that in one single space. So as I'm working through editing, I'm really fine-tuning the sort of vision I have for this book and how I can market it to the wide world. And this video is sponsored by Milanote, which is an amazing writing tool to help brainstorm and plan your story. I'm a long-term partner with Milanote. I adore their site and I know that they've helped so many different writers in brainstorming and plotting and just creating their stories. You can sign up for free today and start brainstorming your new projects. I really love Milanote, especially because it allows you to kind of pull different medias together, whether that be videos, photos, web links, Pinterest pages, everything like that. So I'm really excited to be using Milanote for this particular project in correlating all of my ideas into one space. But before we get into Milanote, I'm just going to give you a little tour of like what I've been doing and explaining some of my processes with editing my book. Let's go. Okay, so first off, as you can see behind me, it is my very bright looking computer. I'll just turn that down a bit. However, usually when I'm working on my book, oh gosh, I don't even know how many times I work on this book, but I usually work on it at least once a day. And I usually get through a scene a day. It's kind of a very slow process, to be honest. I usually work on my computer and also my desktop. Usually I work on my laptop because I usually work remotely, and that's mostly my study laptop slash editing laptop. But I'll show you what's on my screen so I can show you my document. So this is my writing document. I'm actually using Word docs, which I know I used to use Google Docs, but not anymore since I've been scarred about losing my projects. Here is what my document looks like. As you can see up here, it says draft 4. And it actually is version 11. One thing I really recommend for you guys is to save your work, freaking save your work please, and actually save it on your actual physical hard drive or your computer desktop. This is so important because I don't want you guys losing your freaking work, please. I usually do versions, and this is what my mum taught me, always to kind of just save version 1, version 2, version 3, and work your way up. So as you saw, I'm in like version 11 up on this top bar, and I basically just save it whenever I finish a scene, whenever I input a scene, whenever I have like a major change in the book. It just helps you keep up backup versions. But this is actually my story. This is my title page, just Ghostcide by Anna New. For Ghost Boys, and then chapter 1, which I won't show you. I usually keep a thesaurus right over here because I adore the thesaurus. They're so good. And my current word count, I just always keep an eye on it. It's at 53k, and if you guys don't know, this book actually used to be only 32k when I started this book, but it's just so interesting. I never knew I would ever edit this book in a way that kind of increases the word count substantially. So it's really, really interesting. The second thing I'll recommend is, of course, to actually put autosave on. It's an option you can use on Windows or Word, and to actually keep it saved on your OneDrive. So this is my OneDrive. It has my school name, like my university name, and this just ensures that your projects are all on the cloud, and it also helps me when I want to work on this laptop and this laptop. It will just sync. Sorry, I call that a laptop. That's not a laptop. Desktop, laptop, it will sync because I usually work at university, or I work at home, or I just want to go downstairs and I don't want to lug my whole desktop computer out. So I got this laptop, and this laptop's actually new. I did actually buy it. I'm not taking good care of it with putting it up in the air, but I really recommend, like, I tried to use my iPad for a long time, and you just need a laptop, besties. So anyways, that is the thing. The next couple things I really recommend you guys to do, and what I've been doing through my editing process, is 3 things. 1, Pinterest page. Make sure you have your Pinterest page. This is what it looks like, and I'm very much seeing how different this is from my personality, from just like the vibe of my room, of my desk, of my personality. But I'm writing a ghost story and that is it. Usually I kind of add to this Pinterest board and I revisit it almost all the time to really focus on the vibes and to get into the mood of writing when I'm editing, especially. For example, there's a scene where the characters go to these silos, they're kind of like wheat silos, and I use this particular picture to kind of help me edit in a way that made the scene a lot better, because I didn't really understand what silos would look like. I kind of had in my draft that there was a hill before a silos, when usually when it's in a field the silos are like on flat, really flat surface for like, you know, a couple kilometers and stuff like that. So I had to change that. So looking up and adding that to your Pinterest page really does help, especially with developing settings and realistic settings. The second thing I recommend is playlists. You probably already have a playlist for your story, but I really recommend just sharing this with your friends, with people who have read your book, and also listening to it when you're actually writing your novel. This is my beautiful Spotify playlist. If you guys want to check that out, get some ghost vibes, I'll link it down in the description. But it's just really great to really think about stories. I've said many times how Scott Street particularly inspired a whole scene at the end of the song. Oh, it's just so wonderful. Literally, it's become my favorite scene. And I think it's really great to kind of get into that mood, because when I've been editing, I've kind of sometimes lost track of like my story and kind of like what I want it to become. Where I actually did a reel recently that was kind of like, my goal is to write a story that sounds like the end of I Know the End by Phoebe Bridgers. And that literally I listen to all the time. It's at the top of my playlist where I'm like, yes, that is what I'm striving for. So I think when it comes to mood, Pinterest and songs are really important. The third thing I recommend is to actually create a separate document where you have all of your edits. I actually, before I created this separate document, I had all of the words and sort of things I wanted to change like at the start of my file, and it was just clunking stuff up. It was very annoying, and yeah, it was just not nice. So now I'll show you right now, but I have a new sort of page template. I don't know if you guys know, but I adore creating tables have helped me so much, because it gives you that freedom of, you know, making dot points, whatever you want. This is how I do my zero drafts, but it also allows you to stay organized. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, I firstly have general. I'll have to probably blur it out, but first I have a general table, which is just general things I need to change about the story. Then I have scenes to add. As you can see here, scenes I want to add to my story. There's a couple of them. There's like 10 scenes I want to add, which is actually a lot. And then I have things to change, which is really important as well. Then also tiny things like names, places, stuff like that. So those three things have been really helping me edit my book, stay in the mood, while also understanding the sort of things I need to change about my story. Because there's one thing of like keeping your story the same as you've written it, and also making it better fit that vibe, if that makes sense. One other thing that I do want to say quickly is how I make my own notes. So as you can see, I have my own notes right here, or I even kind of reply to my editor's notes. As you can see, I literally have a reply, so it helps me kind of understand where she's coming from and where I'm coming from. So I don't just delete her edits when I fix it, but I'm also have a discussion of when I'm stuck or when I'm not sure. Should I delete it? Should I change it? Should I undertake her critique, or should I keep it the same? It just helps me. So that's the last thing I do want to mention. So yeah. Alrighty, so now let's get on to creating a sort of board that kind of helps me fit my aesthetic, because I feel like I just need a page to help me understand Ghostcide as like a mood board. I feel like it's like a goal, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be going on to my Milanote. Anyways, this is my empty board. You can actually choose templates, as you can see down there, which is really great, but I'm gonna just do my own because I love just grabbing things and putting it in. It's just also a fun way to put everything in a space where you can just go to this board and then be able to access your document, your music playlist, your other things like that. I think it's really great. The first thing I'm gonna actually create is probably, a little note. Okay, and I'm gonna go to my Pinterest page, which is over here. And I actually have over 1,000 followers on my Pinterest page. Thank you so much. That's amazing. This is what it looks like. Ugh, I love it so much. So I'm just gonna snip this and copy it into my beautiful Milanote page. I'm gonna grab a couple more images to kind of just give the aesthetic. And then all you gotta do is actually drag them onto the board like this, and you can rearrange them. I love Milanote, as you can see. I use them a lot for my projects and for this sort of vibe of just kind of organizing ideas and brainstorming. The next thing I want to do is actually go and snapshot my Spotify playlist, because I feel like that's such an important thing. The songs, it's so important when you think about it, because without the vibe, there is nothing. There really is nothing. You can just look up my Spotify, just if you type on Ghostcide and put it as a playlist, and it should turn up here. There it is. Oh, so beautiful. I love it. That's supposed to be Ned. Oh my gosh, it has 358 saves. Y'all, I did not know that. Oh, the aesthetic. Oh, I'm loving it already. Next, I think it would be really cool just to kind of screenshot my manuscript page as well, because I feel like that's something we all need, just to kind of remind ourselves of Ghostcide as a sort of manuscript. And it's so easy with Milanote too, just like copy and paste, and then bam, it's there. I'm gonna change this to a large heading just because I want it to be bigger, like so. Okay, next, I think it's really important to have a to-do list, since all mood boards, I believe, need a sort of goal list, something to focus on. So right now I'm writing draft 4, so finish draft 4. Then I actually want to do my major, not major edits, but kind of major edits. So that's draft 5. And that were the edits that I showed you in my page. And then I actually want to send it off to beta readers, and that's something I really want to talk about quickly, is like beta readers. I am very scared about beta readers. I've only had a couple friends read Ghostcide, I think 4 in total. I've got some feedback, but they're my friends. So I need people who can give me advice, who are readers, and who actually are able to give something that's objective in terms of the critique. I'm very scared. So I am kind of looking for beta readers. If you guys maybe want to read Ghostcide, comment down below. I'll probably open up a Google form, or maybe I was thinking of looking at Fiverr for some freelancers. So I should probably research about beta readers, and then I want to implement the feedback and then have final draft. I want that by November, end of November, I think. That's my goal. Don't hold me to it, okay? But it's just good to keep in mind the goals that you have for your book. Ugh, it's so cute. I feel like I'm gonna put that down there. I also wanted to show you guys this board. This is my Ghostcide covers board. I am really interested in how I want my cover to kind of look like. I am very much inspired by Lankley's book, her original self-published book, which was I Fell in Love with Hope. I love her original cover. I think it's so much better, no offense to the original. I just love this. So I'm gonna actually copy this as a form of inspiration. I mean, she's inspiring anyways. So that's kind of like something I've been really wanting to dive into. The next thing I want to do is actually copy and paste some commission a artist did for me. I think this is so cool to kind of get in the vibe of Ghostcide. And this is just kind of art that I have of my ghost boys. Okay, so I'm gonna get some other sort of aesthetic things, like a picture of a manuscript, maybe a self-publishing checklist. This is so cool, actually. I might need to use this. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get 5 stars. That's my goal. 5 stars. That could be really cool. Probably not gonna get 5 stars for like my first review, but it's still really like motivational to have that sort of, I want it to be 5 stars. And last but not least, I really do want to kind of think about the grabs or the sort of quotes that I really like from this book. A quote that I really like is called "Not all ghosts are dead." I think that's such an interesting vibe. I might be like completely wrong, but I think that's really, really cool. Another quote is just like the tagline of the book, which is "For ghost boys, one girl." I think it's so cool, and just like it gives the vibes. Anyways, another quote I really like, it is "Home. Nobody had a home. Not even ghosts did." And maybe I'll say what page that is to kind of be like, ooh, I'm quoting from my own book. That was page 161. Page 161. We love a delusional queen. Alrighty, this is kind of like what my mood board looks like. Oh, it's so cool. I really, really love it. And yeah, that is my mood board. I think I really, really love it. Oh, it's so aesthetic. I'm gonna actually export this because you can export this in Milanote, and I'm gonna make it my literal wallpaper. And this is what the mood board looks like. How aesthetic is that? I really, really love it. Anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoyed creating that mood board with me. I think that will definitely help me just remind myself to edit my book. As I've said, editing has been really, really difficult, and I understand like self-publishing is such a huge undertaking that like literally other writers have a whole team around them. They have an agent, everything like that. But yeah, it's difficult to do this as a writer, as you know, someone who's just writing this book on their own. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I hope you enjoyed looking at my story, learning also about Milanote. I really do recommend you actually check out Milanote, who of course has sponsored this video. I'll leave them in the links in the description. I just know that they'll help you so much in whatever writing journey you are on, whether you're starting to publish, whether you're just brainstorming, whether you like me in editing. It can just really, really help. And I usually do use Milanote for brainstorming my own stories, as I have in my Samson videos, Project Samson, where I've been using Milanote so much in brainstorming my stories. But it's clear that you can also use Milanote for other things like mood boards, as I've done in this video. So check out Milanote. I really recommend them. They're an amazing writing tool, and I will never shut up about them. But this is my baby. This is what I've been working on forever. It's definitely a huge undertaking to self-publish a book, and editing has been really, really difficult. But when I think about ways to cope and different tools I can use, different things that I can just really lean into, like the Pinterest boards that I've been keeping, and of course thinking about my goals and other things too, like thinking about my cover, having commissioned artists draw my characters. It's something really, really fun. And yeah, if you want to learn more about Ghostcide, go check out my Instagram too. It's @_AnnaNew, and I post a lot on there about Ghostcide and behind the scenes and stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, wish me luck on Ghostcide. Okay, bye everyone.